So, as you already know Monaco, or maybe not yet, you will figure out that Monaco is a very successful and very dynamic economic place. The Principality of Monaco is ruled by the same family for already 700 years.
We have the finest collection of companies that we've ever had, and we find it actually easier to eliminate companies if you look at it from this IP point of view. But those of you who have been here before will notice that there are also some fewer delegates. We went through a process of identifying those people who've been here for the last 5 years, every year, and had never done anything to assist any of the companies in that period, and we decided not to invite. Frankly speaking, I feel the complete opposite. I feel what you're now calling Cleantech 1.0 was really people who came in on a herd instinct, who had come out of the IT sector, needed a new... But both buyers and sellers came in. Absolutely, yeah. You know, and you can go back and answer some of your questions on what is considered environmental or not. So what you had, for me, between 2005 and 2010 was a mass herd instinct into an area which started off with renewable energy. And as I said earlier on, with probably a lack of understanding of the actual geographical market. So for me, a lot of the IP, when you invest in a company, is the knowledge of how to roll out your particular technology, your particular product, in your particular market. How the right company to get the right subsidies from the right government. In other words, you could have a third-tier company in America getting 200 million subsidy, which would absolutely kick your butt. Yeah. Or you could have a company in China which gets phenomenal subsidies in China. And so why did solar start becoming interesting? Actually, solar started becoming interesting not just because silicon prices in extractor fell down, but because there was so much production of solar panels at one stage that the government had put so much to subsidize that actually they were starting in 2012 to be willing to sell you these panels at 20 cents in the dollar just to keep the production mechanisms going. And then the economics really came down and became interesting. So, Cleantech 2.0, frankly speaking, is about washing out all those people who jumped on the bandwagon. If they haven't been washed out already. Right. Yeah. People who kept it the reality of focusing, and this is the beautiful thing about what we're working on. The beautiful thing about what we're working on is to invest in this sector, I feel, you have to have a passion for environment and social sustainability. That passion has to be in there. If you invest in IT technology, you have to have a passion for that as well. It's about feeding that passion. It's about taking a €3 bus from Monaco airport to here because it takes an hour rather than a €100 taxi, and it takes you 15 minutes longer. It's about feeding that passion to be able to actually take technology, deliver it, and you know there are loads of problems in the world with environment to solve. And with a bit of hard work, 1 or 2 years, you can find business models and work with local governments to resolve local problems very, very, very profitably. To Cleantech in this instance, because as we move into Cleantech 2.0, the one thing that is, in my opinion, been a huge interest to people is the convergence of IT with Cleantech and its demands for energy efficiencies, the rocketing amount of power that is needed for data centers, for driving this the big data explosion and everything else. So you will notice today and tomorrow that we have started to include these companies in Cleantech, and they are making huge differences to energy efficiency and those sort of things. And at the same time, you're beginning to see life sciences converging. When a university in the United Kingdom sends a file to Stanford University, which is a file electronically formatted in a DNA structure, sends it to Stanford University. Stanford University takes that file, which is many, 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 many gigabytes, and puts it onto physical DNA the size of my thumbnail, puts it in an envelope and FedEx it back to the UK. They then take that data with a DNA reader, a bulk standard DNA reader, and they read all of that data verbatim, 100% off that physical piece of DNA.
So, we've always had this, and I don't think our answer in Allo's changed in the last 9 years that we've been around.
First of all, we've never used the word Cleantech, excuse me, as you know, and we've always considered it environmentally and socially sustainable. So what will I invest in? I will invest in anything that follows the simple three basic rules. We, as a human race, consume and waste far too much. So I will invest in anything that truly, not because of greenwashing, but truly reduces, allows reuse, or allows recycling. And that is my core base definition. Does it reduce consumption of whatever we're doing today by a similar level? Does it allow me, rather than just reducing the amount I consume, to actually reuse the product rather than throw it? And by reuse, I mean actually take it and replace somebody buying a new product. And three, does it allow me to recycle it? And recycle, again, out of a very different definition. We don't consider downcycling. We don't consider incineration. We don't consider waste management. That's not recycling. Recycling is taking a product of a value and making another product of equal or higher value in virgin grade material. So that's the answer to that question, and then I'll answer the second one. But for example, last year, Mungo and Innovator Capital were very generous in allowing us to launch one of our initial companies here, a company called Perpetual, which had its first launch here. And I must say this company, thanks to a lot of support from the team, has been technology, that it is actually able to make high value. So this is 100% plastic bottles. So you're able to take waste plastic bottles and produce a high quality, high grade material out of 100% plastic bottles at a price that is 40% lower than the cost.
Is your suit also?
Unfortunately, this is not polyester. It could be. But having said that, we now are developing in the company the technology to take textiles back into textiles within that same company, so that we can discuss another time.
You know, what do we do with surplus energy when we're generating it, and how can we best capitalise on that? So, a quick thoughts across the panel, I think.
So absolutely, the largest hydrogen fueling station in Germany was opened, in Europe, sorry, was opened in February last year in Hamburg. It's an electrolyzer built by our company. It's owned and operated by a utility, Vattenfall. We're in the process of starting another station in Stuttgart owned by a utility, EnBW. So this connection between renewable infrastructure, fueling, and vehicles is already being realized with the commercial eye of utilities in Germany, so absolutely. My last comment to affirm the proposition in front of us, I think the juggernaut of Germany has not just led here, but also in solar and also in wind, and Klaus was perhaps a little bashful. When you look at the coordinated effort between the German research institutes, organizations like his, from a program management point of view, a coherent thinking and strategy from the government, in close collaboration with industry, it's very hard to find another place in the world where energy technology has been thoughtfully moved ahead, as I say, in wind, in solar, and now also in hydrogen. And it's created a wonderful opportunity, I think, for Germany, but they've done it with an open-handedness. We know of other nations around the world where there has been a closed mentality, a protectionist mentality, and as a Canadian company with operations in Germany, we feel free to do business, we win projects, and we feel the opportunity to participate with their leadership, which I think is a very, very positive thing.